Hello, my friends, and welcome to Youth Potential, a channel dedicated to helping young people with mental health problems. I have two books available, 102 Distraction Techniques and Self-Harm to Self-Harmony. Both of these books are only available on Amazon. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hello, my friend, Scott here representing Youth Potential. So today I thought I'd talk about something that I don't really kind of think about that often, to be honest, and that's kind of comparing like my beliefs and my understanding, if you will, at the age of sort of 16 versus how old I am now, which is 30 years old. Because I know a lot of people that kind of like watch my channel and follow me on Instagram are kind of around the sort of like 16 years of age mark, and then there's also a big chunk that are kind of like around the age that I am. So I thought it would be interesting to kind of put that separation of years between them and see how different my perspectives are. So what I've basically done is I've written a sort of a list of about 10 things, and I'm going to tell you what I believed or understood back then about this thing versus what I kind of think about it now. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing is mental health conditions. When I was like 16, all I kind of really knew about was anxiety, depression, bipolar, schizophrenia. I knew about, like learning difficulties and autism, things like that. But that was kind of just how far it stretched. Oh, sorry, and eating disorders as well. It wasn't really much beyond that. Obviously now I know there's way more, and I know a lot more in detail about these conditions. So that's just something that comes with age, really. I don't think that's necessarily got any other reason for it. The second thing that I believed when I was around 16 was that self-harm was predominantly for young people, as in like teenagers, sort of kind of bordering on early adulthood. But no, now at the age of 30, I can say without a doubt that self-harm does not discriminate against anyone of any age. Anyone of any age can struggle and be subjected to self-harm thoughts and behaviours. Number 3, and that is that recovery is a destination to achieve. That's what I used to believe when I was 16, that, I was being told by mental health professionals and my family and my friends that I've got to try and be positive and that I've got to recover. And purely based off that, my idea of recovery was just being happy all the time. But now that I'm 30 years old and a lot of my focus has been on recovery in a kind of more unorthodox way, if you like. But now I know that recovery is a lifestyle that I have to maintain for the rest of my life, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing. I'm okay with that because I'm learning about myself and I'm able to use these experiences to help others and communicate with others as well. Number 4, I used to believe that if I wasn't self-harming, then my feelings and my thoughts and my struggles were completely invalid. But at the age of 30, I know that I don't need to struggle on one particular day. That doesn't mean that everything's la-di-da and that, all my struggles are invalid. It just means I'm having a good day or a good hour, a good moment. It's not always doom and gloom. But I used to think, like I said, that if I wasn't self-harming, then I thought I was okay and I didn't deserve help. So that's number 4. Sorry, I definitely need my coffee today. Number 5. I used to think that psychotic episodes were always visual hallucinations. So anytime I heard the word psychosis or psychotic behaviour, I used to think that always meant that it was a visual hallucination. But at the age of 30, and since then, since the age of 18, I kind of learned this, not really 30, but I understand it a lot clearer now. I know that psychosis or psychotic episodes are more than just visual hallucinations. It can be voices as well. And it can just be, it's just, a warped perception of reality that you believe in, essentially. Number 6 is that if I felt happy, like I was having a good day, for example, I was out with friends, or whatever it was. Again, I felt like it was making all my struggles invalid, and that I didn't deserve help. You know, like, oh, I'm having a good day today. That must mean that I'm kind of faking it, and it's so easy to get trapped in that belief system where you think that you're, oh, well, I'm having a good day today. You know, obviously I don't deserve help. I'm not struggling enough. Come to this ripe old age of 30, and it's completely different. It's like, no, it doesn't matter what is going on. If you feel like you need help, then you damn well deserve it. Okay, so this is number 7. I used to think that relapsing with self-harm meant that I was resetting my journey, my recovery journey. I mean, I was already misinformed about what recovery was back then anyway, so obviously I'm going to believe that every time I relapse, I'm just going back to the start. And that happens to so many people. They feel like they're a failure or they're going 2 steps back. But I was having a discussion with one of my followers on a live stream the other day, and he put it really well. Matthew, if you're watching this, you know who you are. He basically said, like, if you relapse, it's not stopping, it's not going backwards, it's slowing down. Which is really good, because my personal belief is always that if you've gone through a relapse, that, you know, it's not failure, it's not a setback, it's a part of the journey. You're always living life forwards. You can't afford to try and live in the past in your head, okay? You're living forward. So, yeah, at the ripe old age of 30, that's what I understand. That's what I believe. I think if you relapse, it, you know, it's slowing down, it's not going backwards. Number 8, I used to believe that the world was an evil place. I think through a lot of my later childhood and my teens, I found myself on the receiving end of bullying from different random people. Some people at school, some people at work a little bit. That wasn't too bad though. And outside in public. You know, just obviously I used to dress like a typical emo kid, and that kind of got me the attention that I wasn't after. So yeah, it was easy for me to be on the end of verbal abuse and physical abuse at times. You know, and from that entire focus, and at the age of 16, where you're, you know, just in the early stages of my mental illness journey, I just think that the whole world isn't a horrible, evil place. But now at the age of 30, I realise the world isn't a horrible and evil place, but there are people that are horrible and evil. But there's also many, many lovely people. And I know you guys that are watching this, you are a bunch of lovely people. So, yeah, it's just trying to avoid the dickheads and finding the nice people, you know. Okay, number 9. I used to believe that all suicide attempts would result in being sectioned and put into a mental hospital. Well, at least in this country, I can safely say that isn't actually true. And I can also safely say, and I'm not proud to be saying this, but I think that more often than not, people just get sent straight back to their homes after a suicide attempt. More likely to be that than to be sectioned. A section 136 is really common, which is where you kind of get put under 24 hours of observation. But beyond that, it's quite difficult actually to be admitted to a hospital. So yeah, don't think that a suicide attempt is 100% going to guarantee you on a hospital ward, because I can assure you it don't. And number 10, I used to believe, and this is such a common misconception for so many people, and a lot of movies in the past don't make it easy for young people. I used to believe that being an inpatient, as in a psychiatric patient, I used to think that all hospitals were just like they are in the movies, these rooms with padded cells, and that you'd be in a straitjacket, and that you'd be constantly injected and given electric shock therapy. And I remember the first time I did get admitted to a psychiatric ward, I was 17, and that was a kind of case of going willingly, because I didn't really know what to expect. I had all these common misconceptions, but I had to tell myself that that's not what it was going to be like. And luckily, the mental health teams that dealt with me kind of reassured me that it's nothing like the movies. So, yeah. Okay. Actually, what it is kind of like, it's just like any old normal hospital. They do have a seclusion room, But most of it is just kind of like a general hospital wing most of the time. It depends on kind of what severity, level of severity the wing is. But in general, it's just like a normal hospital. But all the doors are locked. Okay, thanks everyone for watching that. I hope, especially the younger people watching this, I hope this kind of gave you an insight as to how your understandings, your beliefs, your knowledge will mature over time. And hopefully, if you start kind of going on this journey of self-discovery and kind of knowing what's real and being realistic about things, that you'll begin to see that there is a balance between positive and negative in so many things, and it's not all just doom and gloom. There is some great stuff to come out of life. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Okay, thanks for watching everyone. Take care.